car, stop sign, safety. I was tasting puke for the last 250 meters of that. These are quite enjoyable. Morning, Trainiacs. It's Family Day in Winnipeg, aka Louis Riel Day, aka Day in My PJs, aka swim starts at 10 a.m. This is the first day back for almost all of us after rest week, and I don't imagine Pat's gonna make it easy on us because we should all be rested and in better spirits and less whiny. So I bet he's gonna take this opportunity to smack us around a little bit. Do you remember about a year ago when I did the What's in My Swim Bag video? That was pretty popular, but I didn't really talk a lot about the most important pieces in that swim bag. I kind of just went through the swim bag. After the swim today, I'm gonna go through my top absolute must-haves for triathletes that you gotta have in your swim bag to make your swim stroke smoother. And I'll explain why we've got it, how to use it, how much it should cost, and where you should get it. Those few seconds is about my drive to the pool. I live exactly 1 mile door to door from the pool. Okay, I'm worried. This barren spot on the pool deck is normally where our contraband pool box is. Pat's standing in the training tank area and he does not seem to be worried. It's a training tank, not the main tank. I'm worried, Pat. I'm worried. Where's our box? Oh. Whew. Feel better now.
And Taren touches first again.
Yeah, always. You remember when I said Pat was going to be merciless with us? I was tasting puke for the last 250 meters of that. Brutal. Okay, I want to have a quick chat about the most important things that are in my pool bag. Oh, you're practicing your cannonballs, Kai? Come say hi to the gang. That's squid. It's everyone's favorite squid.
Yeah, I just don't have my hat on.
We'll get your squid hat one day and we'll get you on. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Bye, Kai. That's Pat's son, Kai. He's Kim's favorite. So I get a lot of questions about what's what in the pool bag, why I use certain toys at certain times. So we have a ginormous pool bag here. Not everything in the pool bag gets used on a regular basis. I would say that with 3 main things and then a 4th thing that I'll put a good plug in for, you can get yourself set up to solve a lot of the most common triathlon swimming problems. In this whole bag, the 3 things that we will go to the most, that I would recommend the most, and you'll see me list this out a lot in the swim sets: snorkel, band, pole buoy. With these 3 things, you can probably get away with not buying all the rest of the stuff. But if you have to choose what pool toys you're gonna get, these would be the 3 that I would go with. They're fairly inexpensive, but you get a really big bang for your buck as far as how much they improve your swim stroke. The most common, the pole buoy. You use this by sticking it in between your legs and you do not kick. The purpose of the pole buoy is to make your legs used to the sensation of floating in the water without kicking a whole ton. So you stick this in between your legs. I have one that's quite big. It's really big on one side, smaller on the other, because I have really big, thick legs that are very sinky. So I need a fair bit bigger pole buoy to get my legs up to the water. So you stick this in between your legs, you don't kick, and you get used to the sensation of your legs being up at the water by tightening your core. And remember when I talk about learning how to float, combine that learning how to float with a pole buoy and you'll get the sensation of how tight your core needs to be to help your legs float up to the surface of the water. The next thing that I would recommend getting is a snorkel. And it might seem like cheating, but it isn't nearly as easy as you think it is. The snorkel goes on your face, at the front of the face, like that. And the purpose of that is fairly similar to the pole buoy. How buoyancy works in a swimmer's body is that we're fairly top buoyant. What ends up happening is our lungs push our chest up, our legs drag our legs down, and you end up pushing through the water. Between the pull buoy and the snorkel, you can counteract that by pulling your legs up, and then having the snorkel allows you to take your face and press your face down into the water and press that chest down into the water, and it's kind of like counteracting the sensation of having your lungs push yourself up. And in the end, what these two things will allow you to do is get yourself away from lifting your head up to breathe. All you have to worry about is worrying about your stroke and making sure you're taking a nice stroke and you're just kind of going like this in the water. This really makes a nice steady head. So when you take it off, all you have to think about is press your chest down, and then instead of lifting up, you can just move your head to the side, and what'll happen is the waves will come around your head and there'll be a little pocket of air that you can get. This is to calm your head down. Finally, this is just a tied up old bike tube. A lot of people have a much nicer band, a finesse swim band, and this, combined with this, takes your kick entirely out of the equation. The difference between these and this is that these are quite enjoyable. This is death. This is no different than just tying your ankles together. And if you can get your legs towards the surface of the water with this, you're gonna do really well with your kick. You're gonna be very streamlined. Now, a big caveat, I wouldn't just jump off the deep end with your ankles tied together. What I'd start with is going pull and band, combining the two so that your legs do have a little bit of buoyancy, and starting with really, really short intervals, 25 yard, 25 meter, even planning just to swim half the length of the pool or a 50-meter pool, and then gradually building up, because the first few times that you use this, you're gonna sink. I'm not gonna mess around with you. It's gonna happen. It's gonna suck. You might panic. Eventually it'll get normal and you'll be able to naturally keep your legs up to the surface of the water. When you get really good, you can ditch this, and we do as much as 100-meter intervals, nothing but a band on our ankles. That said, we don't do a ton of just band work because it is really hard on your body. As you get tired, you do start sinking a fair bit, your stroke falls apart, and that's not good. So you can use this for just as long as you find it beneficial. And once it stops being beneficial, start adding a pull buoy, start adding a snorkel, until eventually you can go longer and longer distances with just the band. Now, between all these things, these might be 15 bucks. I think these are 20. This was free from an old flat bike tube. I think they're 12 on Amazon. But just with spending that $30 or $40, you can overcome a lot of the biggest issues that triathlon swimmers have, being sinky legs, lifting your head out of the water, taking breaths to the side, moving too much and not having a steady head, not being able to focus on a proper arm catch because you're worried about all the other things, kicking too much. These are probably gonna be the best bang for your buck pool toys that you can buy. Everything else we'll get into another day, but as you're just starting out, go with these, and a good speedo. I'll put affiliate links in the description below to versions of these pool toys that I think are well priced and good quality. So if you want to pick these up and you click through those links, it'll support the channel and won't cost you anything extra, so that would be mucho appreciated. Okay, that's all for today. Great googly moogly was that swim set, serious. We did it in the training tank, which instead of being 80 degrees like the main tank, I think it's about 72. Ta-da!